Alright guys, hello. We actually did a recording just a few minutes ago and it turned out my mic was not working, so it was a waste of 23 minutes or so. But we're here to show you the Aeson Arrows A350 testing aircraft and show you how much fun we have with this plane. So I'm gonna first show you the beautiful screen, and then I'm gonna turn on the engine because Raspberry is going to show us just how our little gizmos work. As you can see, you've got the tidal angle. Tidal means the front gear, okay. It's showing you the degrees the wheel is at. You've got the weight of the plane, you've got the V1. Now this V1 is actually incorrect. It's showing it in feet per second, which is really incorrect. It's supposed to actually be knots, and so that's misleading. I need to quickly change that after. Radio altimeter is the system, the sensor that checks the plane's actual distance from land. So it checks what is the plane's on top of and checks how much feet it's on top of. Alt is the actual altitude above sea. So for some airports will be maybe 100 or whatever feet above sea, so it won't give you an accurate reading when you are trying to put systems to check what you're on top of on a runway or whatever. That's why we use the radio altimeter. Alright, let's get the engine started and show you what happens here. As you can see, our idle's the green bit and the arrow is just simply going to go there. Our idle is like 0.18. Okay, so we're gonna have Raspberry just power up. As you can see, we got him to power up to 80%. Oh, Raspberry is our new Aeson arrow, by the way. A part of a few new Aeson arrows that are gonna help us and has helped us, as you can see today. So we're at 80%. I'm gonna get them to power down to full. Then we're gonna get them to power down to 4%. Now they're going to show us the tidal works. We'll display its data and stuff like that, so we want that. 4%, we got them to go 4%, so 4% is just above the V1. I mean, sorry, the idle. As you can see there, our tidal is moving. So awesome. Great. Okay, we are now done, so we're gonna taxi for takeoff now. Gonna put on our lights. As you can see, all the data is moving and working there. I'm going to quickly put on our lights. There we go. Beep 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 beep. Oh. So a few things have actually changed on our Aeson Arrows plane. We've actually changed the suspension a bit, so it's now a work in progress. It will be a bit shaky on a few things, but most of the time at low speed it's really great. But we just need to add the final essential tune changes to make it so it's less shaky at high speed, and you'll see a bit of that when we're taking off, but it will not disrupt your takeoff, as we wouldn't be doing this video. It's just it needs a little bit of modification. So this is actually the Aeson arrows modified plane. A lot of things have changed here for testing purposes. We even have in the pilot place, we even have this, when you land, we have landing data that gives you a score of out of 12, and that gives you a score out of your FPM, your landing FPM, how hard you landed on a runway, how fast you came in, and the pitch angle it recorded on touchdown, and then it gives you a score. So you can get a score out of 4 for all 3, and if you find that you're not getting the perfect 12, then most of the time it's one of those 3 that you've not got correct. So we're gonna line up here, and as you can see, it's giving us great data here. We can know the altitude is still this. Our V1 is supposed to be 170. Our takeoff weight here is 280 tons, and we are traveling at the moment at a speed of 14 knots. That's going to go down because we're turning. Our Tyler is up to VC 0 right there, and then he's going to go and make a sweeping turn around. This is going to go full Tyler at least around 63 also, so we're going to need a bit more juice. And as you can see, we're going to then use the Tyler again and go through there. We've used the parking brake on and off to test and do that. Obviously, when you're taxiing, the taxiing will just get easier with practice. It is a very hard art to learn in terms of, because in real world pilots know that they have to conserve their energy, but it's a lot more easier with the Aeson Arrows plane, because now it has a lot better steering than the existing A350s. So once we've lined up, we're gonna take off. You'll be able to see our gizmos going crazy and our speed pretty much rapidly going up, as well as our altitude and radio out is going to change, and that's pretty much going to be that. So I think we're going now. Yep, we're taking off now. We're approaching our lower V1, which is 150 for the plane that is like without a lot of weight. 150 is our V1, and then our maximum safety V1 is 170. So depending on your plane, this is using landing mode, so you will always take off at like around 150 knots. So our radio altimeter will stop recording once we've gone over the water. It will it stops recording over anywhere it can't read what's underground. So if you're using like fake using the mesh glitch for water, where you can have unlimited water, it won't be able to record that, because it can only read a certain amount of studs on the part. So if you go over land now, because that's an actual base plate that's not using the mesh glitch, it will be able to record that. So our highest radio recording was 725 feet, and then our altimeter is still climbing, it's still telling us what's going on. The radio altimeter is really useful for our gears. It tells our gears if we're on land, so it can unweld itself and stop too much lag, as well as it does a few other important stuff on the plane. So we are at 218 knots. Still pretty decent speed, as you can see, and park brake was on, but that's obviously going to do nothing when we're flying. And our battery is actually on. If I actually turn off this battery, I don't know if it will kill the plane. I turn off the battery, but you see our system data thing has turned to non-transparent. I mean, has turned transparent, because obviously there's no battery. So we just turn that back on. So I believe we're going to be landing very soon, and then that will be the end of this video. Pretty much this video was just flexing like the Aeson arrows plane. This system will probably come to you guys at least when this plane is is done, in terms of we still have our switch duty that we're actually going to have, because the arrows need it for our tuning tests, especially with the A380 upcoming, because we need to tune the A380 so that she's as good as our A350, which is a testament to our arrows being amazing and helping us to tune our planes. Without them, this A350 wouldn't be a delight to fly. So it's the same treatment that Elaina didn't get that we're now going to be giving her, and this is why we had arrows applications, and we've got some successful arrows in. So we're going to be doing that, and so switch duty is going to be very important for that A380 test, as well as this data thing. That's why our arrows have this now, and this is most likely definitely going to come free in a later update, because the A350 does have 1 more month before warranty is over, in terms of us doing basically updates like this where we just give changes freely. That doesn't mean that we won't. Oh, this is a beautiful landing. This doesn't mean. Oh, that is very beautiful. Must clap for Raspberry. This was unexpected. So this doesn't mean, of course, that if we do have a super critical issue, and this means like the kit completely stops working, that doesn't mean that we won't fix that. What this means now is that non-essential updates will not be given, at least will not be given anymore. They may be for a charge, but I don't really know. I'd rather not do that, because we want to focus on these other planes, and this is why we have EM stock come into play. And so this will definitely come. However, as you know, there is a computer systems add-on, and that means like the ILS and stuff, the ILS and where your runway, your airports are, that data thing like that is definitely not going to be free. But of course, we will be looking at possibly making sure, it depends on if I want to release it or not, we'll be making sure that switch duty, if we do, and this and our ECAM sort of thing is gonna be definitely free and come out. Anyway, thank you for watching us, and A350 is saying goodbye to you with its shaky suspension that needs to be tuned. But yeah, goodbye.